Hi, and welcome back to Jen and Dan's Natural Healing with Plants, the go-to podcast for holistic health seekers looking to harness the power of nature for health and healing. I'm Jen, a passionate health educator, a whole food plant-based culinary coach, and a master herbalist, and I'm here with Dan, an exercise specialist and a wonderful master herbalist. Together, we dive into the world of natural healing, bringing you a wealth of knowledge and practical advice. We draw from both traditional wisdom and modern science with herbs and foods to help you achieve optimal health. So, when people think about the heart and the health of the heart, they usually think about what they need to avoid. Cut out all the fat, stop eating salt, don't have any cholesterol. But one of the most powerful things you can do for your heart is something that you could add to your daily foods every day. It doesn't have to be another supplement, another pill, though those things can be helpful. But just nourishing the heart, providing what the body needs to support circulation, to reduce inflammation, and to strengthen the whole cardiovascular system is so important. So, Dan, get us started. This is your forte.
Well, you hear a lot of things about heart health, and one of the things that we do know is that I think it's still number one killer. I think
Mhm.
it's still number one, and cancer is number two, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And even for women, everybody always thinks that if it's a man's disease. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Well, the good news is, I mean, it's bad news that's still killing a lot of people, but the good news is the heart and the circulatory system responds very well to lifestyle changes. It's like one of the easiest things to make a really big difference in.
Right, right.
Um, we talk about inflammation a lot on our podcast, don't we?
Yes.
It's really important though, because inflammation, if we have inflammation, low-grade inflammation, it can start to destroy our endothelial lining, the lining of our arteries. And this is going to make your blood pressure go up. It's going to make your body start to lay down more plaque in the arteries. And for a long time, and even today, a lot of doctors still believe that once you develop heart disease, it is going to keep progressing no matter what you do. You could take a cholesterol pill, you could take a blood pressure pill, you can get a stent, but all it does is slow it down. It's still going to get worse and worse, and then it's going to kill you. But there's a lot of other doctors now, and there's a lot of scientific information showing you that we can indeed, even if we have heart disease, we can stop it from progressing.
Yes. Yeah, it's reversible if you don't wait too long, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we have to remember that the heart isn't just the heart muscle when we're talking about the health of the heart. We also, like you said, the endothelial lining, we have to think about the health of the endothelial lining. So we hear about plaques and plaques in the arteries, but there's lots of different types of plaque too there. You talked about inflammation, how that affects the heart. The heart contracts just like all of our other muscles, and so it needs a mineral balance, and balance is key there. So not only getting minerals, absorbing the minerals, getting the right minerals, and getting them in balance is important, but also the nervous system. Have you ever been so stressed out that your heart's racing, or even other, excuse me, illnesses? For those of you who don't know my story, my first diagnosis was Graves' disease, and my heart just raced all the time. Like I'd lay in the bed and couldn't sleep because my heart was always racing. And so there are other things that can be related too. Graves' disease is also related to heart disease as well because it just kind of wears out your heart. But I just want you to know that it's more than just the physical heart. We have to think about all the other systems around the body, the entire terrain of the body, too. And before we keep going, I do want to remind you that the information shared on this podcast is for educational purposes only. And we have our own biases. This reflects our own perspective on natural health. It's not intended to replace medical care, and so make sure you work with a qualified healthcare provider when making decisions about your health. So Dan and I met at the School of Natural Healing, which is Dr. Christopher's. You may have seen the bottles in health food stores, Dr. Christopher's products, the School of Natural Healing. And so we also studied with Dr. Richard Schulze and Dr. Christopher Hobbs, and they also talked about the heart quite often, especially Dr. Schulze. And so let's talk a little bit about, well, let's just talk about what they said about the heart, and then we'll get into the foods and the herbs.
Well, they knew that. I remember Dr. Schultz always talked about all disease is caused by a blockage, whether it's a blockage of your colon, a blockage of your blood vessels, a blockage of your energy even.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they saw, if you have heart problems, they saw, well, you're going to have a circulation problem.
Hmm.
Your blood's going to be too thick.
Hmm.
Your blood vessel tone is poor. You can have mineral deficiencies. All these can be true.
Hmm.
So Schultz tells you got to open up the pipes. Well, to me, that makes sense to me. I believe that circulation is the foundation of being healthy because if your circulation is not good, your body's going to slowly die because it's not getting the nutrition and the oxygen that it needs. All the organs, the brain, the heart, the kidneys, they all have to have a steady flow of oxygen and nutrition.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the first thing we got to do is figure out how to get the circulation stronger and flowing better.
Yeah. I love that you brought that up, Doctor. Like, so he said, constipation. Every disease is caused by constipation, and when we hear that, we immediately think of the bowels, and think about constipation there. But it's a clog somewhere in the body, whether that's the arteries, the colon, or meridian lines. Clogging up your energy. And so I totally agree with that. Yeah, and Dr. Schultz, he always talked about getting things moving, and he was pretty aggressive with opening things up and moving things, but it doesn't always have to be that way. So since we usually talk about herbs and plants, I know what your answer is going to be, but what is your favorite herb when we talk about the heart?
It's going to be cayenne pepper because it's, well, it does everything we're talking about. It improves circulation.
Yeah.
It can help clean the arterial system.
Hmm.
I mean, there's some evidence. I mean, scientifically, but also there's evidence from Dr. Schultz, Dr. Christopher, other herbals that have worked with people
Hmm.
that these herbs can indeed help to lower some of the plaque burden in your arteries if you take them
Hmm.
long enough and in the required dosages. So cayenne pepper, I mean, Dr. Schultz, he was dying of three deformed heart valves when he was 19 years old. He was dying. He was passing out.
Yeah, he walked out of the hospital. He was supposed to have surgery.
Yeah, they were going to replace his valves. And instead, he walked out of the hospital and he healed his heart
Hmm.
using food and herbs and exercise. Everything that I teach, food, herbs, exercise. You know why? Because it works. It worked for him. It worked 50 years ago. It's going to work today. It's going to work 50 years from now. I don't care what they come up with. Hopefully, they come up with some medical advances, but you're still going to have to eat right and you're going to have to exercise. And the herbs are always going to be important. I don't care how advanced the medical system becomes.
Right, right.
So that's my first herb. Cayenne pepper is the master.
Yeah, I totally agree. And even if you have like plaques or micro tears in the endothelial lining, cayenne helps heal those, helps bring, first of all, cayenne's very high in vitamin C. So it brings nutrients to the area for healing those areas. But then it also helps bring circulation to the areas too. So we use cayenne not just for the heart, but God, I don't even know, probably almost every formula. You can have cayenne in there because you want cayenne to go to an area to increase circulation to the area. So yeah, definitely key for the heart. And it's an herb, but it's also a food.
And it's also a really good anti-inflammatory, which we were talking about before.
Yes. Yes.
And Number two, I mean, his kind of sidekick is Hawthorn. I
Yes.
always recommend taking them together. Hawthorn berry.
Hmm.
It's a really famous herb for heart.
Hmm.
It's called cardiac food. Christopher called it cardiac food. It feeds the heart. It can lower the blood pressure. It can help with certain arrhythmias. It
Hmm.
can help. It actually helps the heart. It keeps the heart healthy in low oxygen environments. So what we're saying is, if you have some blockages going to your heart, it can help take the strain from your heart if you're in that situation. And it actually binds to your heart cells. So if you were to have a heart attack, it actually can help reduce the damage to your heart if you have a heart attack.
Right.
Who was it he talked about? There was a guy, a doctor,
Hmm.
and I think he heard one of Schulze's lectures. So his mother was like 80 something years old. She was a smoker, but he
Hmm.
said, "Hey, mom, I want you to start taking cayenne and hawthorn berry."
Hmm.
And she started doing that, but she kept smoking. And I think she did have a heart attack,
Uh-huh.
but her heart didn't take as much damage. And I can't remember the name. It was just a story from Schulze. He told a lot of stories,
Yes. I can't remember that
but
story.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's supposed to protect the heart. And I don't want to test the theory, but
No,
I recommend taking these two herbs. I recommend everybody take them. I mean, because
they're
I feel
tonics.
like it's also a maintenance thing, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah, it's not, we don't like to use herbs as a medicine. Like, oh, I have this heart condition, I need to take this herb. No. If you have this heart condition, you have inflammation, you have something else going on in the body, we need to work on the entire body. And so, yes, we need to work on the heart and things that are helpful for the heart, but it's the entire body. It's not just a pill for an ill. We totally work against the way the medical system works. And so, with hawthorn and cayenne, they're both foods. So you can use them in foods or you can take them as herbs and use them as herbs. And so they're both tonics. They're wonderful for the body, anti-inflammatories. If you just look at them, they're bright red color. That tells you right there. They're anti-inflammatory, great for the heart, full of nutrients that are wonderful for the heart as well.
Yeah, Hawthorn can actually strengthen the heart muscle. It can
Hmm.
actually strengthen. Over in Germany, they actually use Hawthorn, the medical doctors, and people with heart failure, they'll use Hawthorn
Hmm.
as part of their regimen.
Yeah, Germany's awesome. As far as choosing herbs first. Yes, they win.
And it can help lower your blood pressure a little bit. Hawthorn can lower it a little bit. Nothing like cayenne will, but
Hmm.
that's why you should take them together anyway.
Well, and a little side note. So cayenne is also great to have in like a first aid kit, having like a cayenne tincture or something, because if somebody is having some sort of heart condition, giving them a little cayenne tincture can really help. If they pass out or, maybe they're starting to have chest pains and you're having trouble getting a doctor to you, getting an ambulance to you. Maybe you think they're having a stroke, giving them a little cayenne. Once again, medical disclaimer, do your own due diligence, research it yourself, but that can help increase circulation to help extend their life until an ambulance can get there.
And help prevent some of the damage that would happen if you didn't have cayenne pepper. I
Right.
always have it in a tincture.
Yeah.
Another herb on the list is a lot of people don't think it was an herb, but it's garlic. It's a
Yes.
culinary herb,
Hmm.
and it can actually lower your blood pressure. It can
Hmm.
lower your cholesterol. It actually can help thin the blood.
Yes.
I remember Schultz talked about everybody should have 3 cloves of garlic a day because it's really good for you. And oh, I saw a video from Dr. Greger. Even the garlic powder that we get,
Uh-huh.
it actually can help too. It has medicinal benefits. I mean, it's not as good as fresh garlic.
Hmm.
But there's a video it showed that even the powder garlic does have some medicinal properties.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there is another also with garlic. You can get fermented or black garlic. And when you're preparing garlic, when you cook it, it kind of destroys the nutrients, which so I'm surprised about the powder, but it must be the way the powder's done. But when you cook it, you want to, smash the garlic clove, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then chop it and use it. And that helps the enzymes in there, the allanase form, which is what's so medicinal. And so it's also antibacterial and very antimicrobial, antiviral, everything. And so tons and tons of nutrients in garlic. It's also a sulfur food, and so it's great for detoxification and for the liver. But if you do have problems with sulfur, then that can be an issue. And so finding the right form for you is key.
I also have to add in right now because of the results I've seen is the Dr. Christopher blood circulation formula. That formula and its Hawthorn berry syrup
Hmm.
are amazing. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
helped people that have come to me.
Hmm.
I take the blood circ every day because I want to keep my circulation strong. And
Hmm.
it's got garlic in it, and it's got cayenne, and it's got some ginger. Ginger's another herb too that can help with circulation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that one. Yeah. Yeah. We're mostly just talking about culinary herbs today. Yeah.
Mhm.
But there are other herbs as well that can help with circulation. Yeah. And then there's other foods as well that aren't necessarily herbs, but anything that is bitter is good for the liver, but also wonderful for the heart and circulation.
Yeah, and also want to just add in really quickly about nitric oxide.
Hmm.
As we get older, our body produces less nitric oxide. Nitric oxide actually protects our endothelial lining from damage, and it also helps to dilate our blood vessels, our arteries. You know, you want it to be dilated. When it dilates, the blood pressure is going to be better. And so there are foods that we can eat that actually help our body produce more nitric oxide. And
Yes.
you probably heard of beets. I think beets are one of the most popular foods now for nitric oxide production.
Yes. Yes. Beets, um, tart cherries, sour cherries, pomegranates, those bright, so what's common? They're a bright red color. Sometimes you can buy dark leafy greens that even have some red on them. That's awesome. Also helps with nitric oxide. Our berries are also helpful. And then there's some herbs that can help as well, like hawthorn berry. Yeah, totally agree with those.
Also, I remember Dr. Christopher and David were talking about how cayenne pepper can actually reduce hardening of the arteries, which is huge
Yes,
because they tell us that, we get older, our arteries are going to get harder as we can do. That's not true
not
because not
true.
only can cayenne help,
Hmm.
but exercise, like our aerobic exercise,
Hmm.
can really help. There's a study, I know there is a study right now. It is people that are 50 and over. I think they put them on, I think it's the Norwegian 4x4, which is you go 4 minutes, as fast as you can, 4 minutes of rest. You do that 4 times in a row. It
Yeah.
actually reversed heart aging by 20 years, and the
Wow.
circulatory system became more proficient. The arteries started to become softer. And that was just the exercise regimen.
Yeah.
Imagine doing the exercise regimen, eating a plant-based, taking these herbs.
Yes.
That's why I love the heart because the heart really, really responds to these changes in a good
Yes.
way.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, we heard that the liver could, regenerate, but most of our body systems can, if we interact early enough, right? But yeah, we can reverse it all, especially with exercise. But we also have to pay attention to things like stress,
Yeah.
emotional health, sleep. Sleep is key as well. If you're not getting enough sleep, if you're stressed out most of the day, not finding me time, um, then those are all going to keep you from recovering. And then hydration, which I want to
Yep.
talk about that for a second. Hello. How many doctors, oh, well, and the dark leafy greens too. How many doctors have told their patients you're on this blood thinner, so you can't have dark leafy greens? Or you're on, we're putting you on these water pills because of your blood pressure, so you can't drink water. Like I meet with these clients and I'm like, what? What? Yeah, let's not have dark leafy greens and water. Let's take these pills.
That's absurd,
Yeah,
but it happens.
yes, it drives me insane. It drives me insane. And the reason why they do it is because they don't want to have to keep monitoring you and take you off your meds, right? And so ask your doctor, can you please monitor me while I increase my greens? And it's their job to help you take care of your health. We know that the nutrients in those dark leafy greens are healthy for your body. You need those foods. You also need water. You have to have water. If you don't have water, then you're going to be constipated. And that's not just in the heart, that's in the colon as well. I mean, how thick is your blood going to be if you're not hydrating? Yeah. Anyway,
Especially in the summertime when you're
yeah.
sweating.
Yes, yes. So doing exercise that you can do, like Dan said, maybe that's walking, maybe it's yoga, something to move and pump the body. If you are not able to do the higher intensity 4 minute training, doing things like deep breathing, which we talk about on some other episodes, breathing down deep into the belly, letting your body know you're safe and working on things to help with your emotional health. Maybe that's talking with a friend weekly, meeting someone, for a cup of tea somewhere. And if you can't get out, meeting with somebody online. Just someone that you can connect with and communicate with and feel safe with is so important.
Very, very important. And of course, I think we probably mentioned sleep by now, but
Yeah.
sleep, if you're losing sleep, your blood pressure is going to go up and your cholesterol goes up and your blood sugar. So you have to make sure you're getting enough sleep.
Hmm.
Exercise helps this too. If you do have trouble sleeping, going on a daily walk will help your sleep.
Yeah. Especially if it's early in
If
the
you can do
morning.
something more strenuous, go ahead. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, getting morning sunlight, walking out first thing in the morning, letting your eyes see the different rays that are in the morning. That helps with melatonin and helping with sleeping later in the evening. Dimming the lights at night. We have a whole episode on sleep hygiene.
So I guess to sum it up, now and you notice I haven't went hardcore today, but if somebody actually has like really bad blockages right now,
Hmm.
I highly recommend, along with all the stuff we already talked about, is check out the Esselstyn diet
Hmm.
because it's proven to actually help to. I'm not saying it get all the plaque out, but it can get some people get like a lot of the plaque out, but also when you're eating a plant-based diet, whole food plant-based, the plaque that some of the plaque may not come out, but the body actually it's kind of like a steamroller when you fill in a pothole. The
Hmm.
body actually fills in those plaques, or it makes it where those plaques won't break off in the future and kill you if you're eating this way.
Right. A handful of greens here, herbs, use them throughout the day. Get used to using foods not as supplements, not as pills, but as part of your daily routine, as part of your foods.
You can do this. I mean, if you're out there today and your doctor's on your case about your blood pressure and your CRP levels, all those things, you can surprise your doctor if you
Yes.
say today I'm going to start. I'm going to really change my health.
Yes.
I mean that doctor will be so shocked if you jump in and do all these things.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree. Yes. Well, it is time for us to wrap up. Thank you for joining us. If you agreed with us, let us know. If you don't, let us know. If you have more insights, more information you would like to share, we want to hear from you. Always, we love to hear from our listeners. If you want to learn more about Dan, go to danthenaturalman.com. And to find out more about me, I'm at Holistic Jen, WHOLISTICJEN.com. We both work with clients one on one. And like I said, we love to hear from you. Until next time, keep eating your plants and supporting your body with herbs and plants. We'll see you next week.